Oh, yeah, give that a check. So, but I got that ticking sound too. Yeah. Yeah.
I still can't hear the shot.
Yeah, no, all I could hear was what you could hear. So we'll have to have a look after this finishes.
Dad, it's nearly time for holiday program.
All right, I suppose I can drive you. Yes.
Can you hear me there? Yeah, okay, well, good job. Yeah, terrific. That one, when we're talking. Does that one work? Yeah, that one works as well. So, volume. I just want the reason I want to do that is I just want to hold the that might take it over to a quarter time. I'll weed out, because otherwise we'll pick up all the effects. Use it, I reckon. Yep. So, that's two. You there, Ash? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's okay? 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we're good to go. Are we on? Are we in?
I think so. I'm not sure. That's where it's hard, Xavier.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wynyard Football Ground for the streaming of the NWFL Senior Men's encounter between Wynyard and Devonport. So the Wynyard Cats versus the Devonport Magpies. We're just underway. And Devonport will be kicking to the left of screen. Ball comes out to Wynyard now across half forward. He kicks deep entry into full forward. And it's punched away there by Brasendale. And it goes through for one behind. So first point, first score of the game goes to Devonport. One behind. No mark there taken by Kindly from Devonport. Elmer kicks back inside, just the top of the 50-metre arc. Good defence there by Wynyard. Cameron Drodds. No one's able to pick the ball up cleanly. It's rather overcast here, a little bit drizzly, but no rain currently. Mark taken by Mason Hodgetts. In the defensive 50 for Wynyard. They transfer the footy across the opposite side of the ground. Griffiths working there, resolutely in defence. Chain of handballs. They get it up to centre wing. 200 senior games for Clay Griffiths today. Represented Ollaston, Devonport and Wynyard in the NWFL over the journey. So free kick there to Devonport on the far side of the ground. And a strong mark taken in defence by Drodds. Showing intent early. Goes short. Hits up Marshall. Billy Marshall. He goes further down. Scoreboard wing. Ball's punched away by Kelly from the Devonport Magpies. Just had the women's game with an upset going to Devonport. So they've come from behind in the last quarter. 3-7-25. Defeated Wynyard 2-4-16. So that's 2 on the trot for the Magpies. Beating Burnie last week at home and away today. Boundary throw in. Marshall gets the tap down. Leaf Heber unable to take the kick. Low. Dishes the ball wide. No one's able to pick it up. Heads towards the boundary. Leaf Heber again. By hand. Kabicki. Inside forward 50. Looking for Wolf. Presents. chases the football forward, gets an extra 10 metres, and we will get another boundary throw in. A little bit of a to-do there. First inside 50 for the Wynyard Cats. Devonport lead 1 behind to nothing. 2 minutes 40 into the game, as I mentioned before. 200 games for Wynyard Senior Cat. Clay Griffiths today. Also previously has played at Ulverston and Devonport. Good punch there by Wolf in the ruck. Comes out to Van Buren. His kick goes to Blair Ryans, cross half back. Weller. Inside forward 50. Higgins behind. Running onto the football and getting his boot to the ball. Is Lenny Douglas for the Devonport Football Club, and that's the first major of the game. They lead 1-1-7 to no score for the Wynyard Cats. 3 minutes 30 into the first quarter. Quick ball movement there by the Devonport Magpies. Moving it from the boundary throw in. Cats are unable to stifle the opposition. Classy outfit are the Devonport Magpies. They come into today with 9 wins from 9 games, 382%. Last time they played the Wynyard Cats, they won by 58. Egger out in the middle. Kabicki in front, unable to take the mark, under severe pressure. Coming through with Stafford. Wasn't clean. No one's able to pick the ball up. Egger again. It is slippery. Underfoot. They jump on it to the Wynyard Cats. Fleming, captain, tried to knock it forward. Gets to Edwards. His kick smothered. Another kick there by Hodgetts. No one's able to take the mark. We're inside forward 50 for the Wynyard Cats. Kelly gives Devonport a bit of respite. Comes out towards the half-forward flank and will run over the boundary line through the pressure of Quade Wynyard. Over about 250 games, very close to 250 for Quade Wynyard for the Devonport Football Club. Boundary throw in. Marshall pushed underneath the football by Butler. Getting onto it though was Fleming, kicks inside forward 50. That's a deep entry. Against 2 charges was Wolf. He goes back after the football. He's asking for deliberate. It's out of bounds on the full. He's going to get a free kick. Jenner street side. He decides to come back inboard and he finds, I think there might be Brandon Howard on the far side of the ground. Another Ulverston import. Come across with Clay Griffiths last year. Not beyond his distance here at the Wynyard Football Club. Wind's not going to be an issue. It's 11 degrees. It's westerly at 6 kilometres an hour. This could be their first major. Coming up to around about the 6-7 minute mark. Howard. Short, top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Jumping forward was Fleming into the raptures of none other than Mr. Kelly and Blair Ryan for the Devonport Magpies. Ball up, Wolf. Gets the clear possession. Picked up and cleared by Van Buren on his left boot. No one's able to pick the ball up cleanly. Oh, that's good hands there by Harry Elmer, showing his class. And there'll be a free kick further down the ground. Mitchell Dell, good skills. So Blair Ryan will be the recipient. Centre wing, grandstand side. Austin Street side of the ground now. Looks to go back. Chooses to do so. Back toward inside his defensive 50. Kelly takes the mark. Transfers footy to the opposite side of the ground. Bramich. Van Buren. Low. Rebounded by Hodgetts. That's a good intercept. Gets to Fleming. Been prominent early. Tries to get some run. Back to Hodgetts. Beautiful left kick. And he hits Billy Marshall. Saunders Street side of the Saunders Street side wing. Big mobile man. Kicks towards the forward 50. Getting up and spoiling Kelly was Josh Wolfe, recruit from the Burnie Dockers in 2025. So might see him next week in the state representative game, Joshy Wolfe. Marshall shows his strength. Gets hold of the football and his agility. Gets wrapped up in a tackle. It's advantage. Kelly. Low. Looking for. Doesn't find his teammate. Hodgetts repels. Howard tries to get a kick away and it is smothered over the boundary line. Right in front of the grandstand. 8 minutes down. As we see Clark come off. Tyler Kelly, for Devonport Magpies, and coming on is Taj Lilico. Heading back into defence. This time it's Butler in the ruck. No one's able to take the pill. The try again. Ryan applies some pressure. They knock the ball forward to Wynyard. Kobe Jackson in there. Doesn't get it. Ball's repelled by the Magpies. Quay Byard. Unrealistic, I would have thought. They bring the ball back into the middle through Kubicki. Weighs up his options. Gets it to Egger. One of the captains. Sharing it with Fleming. Finds Billy Sharman. Using that left foot. Kobe Jackson, no. Inside forward 50. Only just, though. It's a young player in Kobe Lyons, number 55 for the Wynyard Cats. Dudfield coming on, along with Tommy Leaf-Haber, the blonde bombshell. Recently played at North Hobart. Charlie Castle's coming on for Blair Ryan. So I'm interested to see whether Charlie goes forward or onto the ball. Dudfield from 45. What a beautiful strike of the football. Home crowd, very happy. So that's Dudfield's first. Scores are 1 straight. Wynyard 6. Devonport Magpies 1-1-7. Wynyard Cats, a couple of draws this year. They've played 9, won 5, lost 3, drawn 2. Percentage 136. Last 3 weeks, whilst they've had 2 draws and a win, they've been much more consistent with their play and they've got some of the better players back into the side. And that's showing through their form and the start today. Marshall wins the ruck from Butler. Getting onto it though was low, been prominent for the Magpies. Kicks inside forward 50. No one's able to take the mark. Hodgetts again. Gets onto that left. So that's a good kick, inside out. They release from half-back. Centre wing. Grandstand side. Good hands by Lyons. Half forward. No one able to take the ball. The Marley Bourne stands up with some pressure, but they release. Comes out to Taj Lilico. Lilico, and asked to play on. That's a bit of an up and under kick back inside. Bit of work there to do for Devonport. They're unable to get hold of the football. Howard slips over for Wynyard. Picking it up, though, was Harry Elmer. He's a class player. They knocked the ball forward again by foot. That would have been Mason. Relieving the pressure, though, for Wynyard. Cameron Drodds. Will that be deliberate? It's a fair kick out. Jeez. And the umpire says yes. Resultant free kick on the Saunders Street side will be taken by the Magpies. They come in board and they're finding Harry Barker, former Ulverston player. He's been playing on, uses that left foot. 35 out, looking for Biden. He drops the mark. Thought he had it in his clutches. And getting wrapped up in a tackle. I think that might be Leafhaber. And there's been a free kick. It is. Squares the footy. Goes lateral. On the Saunders Street wing. Howard out after the football. Will he get there before it hits the boundary line? Kelly presents in defence and he's able to bring the footy over for another boundary throw in. We're 12 minutes in. Devonport lead 1-1-7 to Wynyard Cats. 1 straight goal. So it's 6v7. Butler gets the tap this time. Lowe applies the tackle. Umpire says, give it to me. Air Conveyance goes up. Lowe's able to get away. Good effort. Gets the handball. Elmer goes to have a bounce. Not so sure about that in these conditions. Brings the ball back inside. Looking for, but not finding. Van Buren. That's Caleb Van Buren. Doubles up after it. Picks the ball up. Gets the handball away. Looking for Lowe. Not taking it in a tackle. Asks for a free kick. Comes back out. Oh, that might be over the shoulder. It is. And a resultant free kick, I think, will go to the Devonport player. It is indeed Caleb Van Buren. So good second and third efforts there by Caleb Van Buren. And his brother, Braden, captains for the Devonport Magpies in 2025. Brains Trust just beside me here for the Devonport Magpies. Nick Hesitatis and Mark Lowe. Senior coach Justin Robin down on the boundary line. And Van Buren to the near side. So that's one behind for Van Buren. Caleb Van Buren is on the board. Ball out towards the grandstand side wing. Eggers now got it. So they were quick to bring that ball back in. Kicks on his left. Looking for. That's a good effort there by Kobe Lyons. Under a severe pressure. Kelly. Leafheber. Fleming. Kicks the ball to the top of the 50. Unable to react quick enough was the recruit. In Wolf. So they transfer the footy out to Devonport. Barker looking inside, finding Blair Ryan. He's had a dominant start to the season as Blair Ryan. Very nuggety, looks fit. Play well in the representative game. Goes to a 3-on-1 though. Decision making. Not so good. Back to Kibiki from Leafheber. Back to Kibiki again. Turns on a dime. Looking for, finding. Griffiths, 200 game player. 200th today. Goes up the Saunders Street wing. Looking for Jackson. Unable to take it. Kelly interrupts him. Leafheber moving forward. Knocking the ball forward. Jackson again gets one around his chops for his trouble. And he's going to get the resultant free kick. So in front of the scoreboard. Saunders Street side. Heading towards Jenner Street. So the forward 50. Ooh, no, that's from his own teammate. I thought that might have been from the Devonport Magpies. And it could have been a free kick. It was over the top of his head. So that was Josh Wolf. Met with the bump as he's heading back by Harry Barker from Devonport, inside forward 50. Jackson kicks the ball long. Well, it's going to run on here. Just to the near side. So one behind for Jackson. 1-1-7 versus 1-2-8. Devonport hold the lead. Miller Young. Kicks the ball inside, fine, looking for Charlie Cassis. Unable to take the mark. Under pressure from Kibiki. We're in the centre square. Ooh, deemed to be a free kick. That's interesting. Call by the umpire. So Charlie Cassis will get the free kick. Suggests it wasn't. Eyes on the football. He decides to go lateral and goes wide. Saunders Street wing now. Magpies hold possession. Looking for that deep entry. That's a poor kick. Fleming takes the mark, transfers footy back across the opposite side of the ground. Griffiths inside, over to Egger. Egger out towards Jackson. Jackson looks inboard, inside forward 50, unable to take the mark was Kobe Lyons. Diving attempt, and it'll be a boundary throw-in. Coming up to 17 minutes into the first quarter. 1-2-8 Devonport, 1-1-7 the Wynyard Cats. Quarter time. We're going to be having a chat with Kent Jackson, the Wynyard Club president. Butler wins the tap. Gets it down to Kelly. Been prominent. That's Fletcher Kelly. I think that might have been Van Buren on the across half back. Gets a kick out wide and ball's being knocked across the boundary line on the far side of the ground. 117 Wynyard plays 128 Devonport, a point the difference. Cats doing well on their home deck. Small ground compared to the vast expanses of the Devonport football oval. Boundary umpire comes in. Butler wins the tap. Howard, Roves, check side. Fletcher Kelly takes the mark. Cross half back. Transfers play immediately, really quickly. Gets it across to Taj Lillico. He goes further afield. He's looking for Lowe. No, doesn't get him. Jumping onto his Fleming. Gets hit around the head from Lillico. Poor skills there by Lillico. Great pressure from Fleming, and he's going to have a kick about 45 degrees. Right behind it is our camera. And I'd say he's around about 30 metres out from goal by the time he strikes the football. Wind's coming from the west, so it's literally straight over his right shoulder at the moment. Oh, he looks in board. The umpire says play on. It's going to make it much more difficult. That's not a bad-looking kick, though. The captain! Noah Fleming. That's his first. That's a good kick under pressure. Sixth disposal of the quarter by the captain, sharing the captaincy duties today with Sharon Egger. It's a good play there by the Cats. They're taking their opportunities when they get it inside forward 50, applying some good pressure. They take the lead, 2-1-13, 1-2-8. Are the Magpies? We've played 19 minutes into the first quarter. Butler gets the tap, looking for Castles. Doesn't take it cleanly. Sharman knocks it forward. Ball comes out towards Blair Ryan. Back to Castles on the run from 45. Shot on goal, running goal. He's a dead-eye dick, this boy, Charlie Castles. Great response by the Devonport Football Club. That's his first. And they head back, so to the lead. 2-2-14 plays 2-1-13. Devonport take the lead by points. Great response by the Magpies quickly. The superior outfit in the NWFL seniors with regards to their skills and fitness. 9 wins attest to that so far in 2025, and a healthy percentage, almost up to 382. Butler trying to stop the run of Billy not Marshall, Keegan Weller. Weller over top of the football. No, it's not Weller. That's Egger. Deemed to be holding it. Doesn't like the decision there. Gives it back to Blair Ryan. He goes inside forward 50. No one able to take the mark. Ball knocked forward there by Darcy Brasendale. Out towards the Swordon Street wing. Low. Tries to kick it around on his left boot. Round the corner. Blair Ryan in a tackle. Gone 360. Back to Low. Kicks inside 450. Looking for and finding. I think that's the captain, Caleb Van Buren. And he'll be having a shot 20 metres out directly in front for his second of the quarter. Second for the game. Oh, no, for his first of the quarter. He had a miss in the earlier part of the quarter. So Caleb Van Buren looking to make amends. 2 goal scorers so far, Lenny Douglas and Charlie Castles, 2 of the smaller players. Van Buren, no problems. Caleb Van Buren gets on the scoreboard. That lead goes out to 7 points. So Devonport Magpies at the 22-minute mark lead 3-2-20. When your Cats 2-1-13. Egger comes off a little bit despondent and changes with Cal Kubicki. Through the interchange. Wasn't too happy with the decision made by the umpire there with regards to that holding ball decision. That's 2 on the trot for the Magpies. Some good efforts. Defensive pressure by the Wynyard Cats up to this point, or up to the 20-minute mark, and the last 2 goals been given away. Billy Marshall back into the ruck. Throws Butler out of the way. Looking for, doesn't find Kubicki. Devonport, Rappel, cross half back. Keegan Lowe. Wynyard. Round the corner. Good mark. taken there by Drods. Looking for Marshall. Unable to take the mark. Pressure from Wynyard. Jumping on top of him is low. Ball dragged in. Umpire says, give it to me. So I'm going to have a boundary, a ball up just in front of the interchange here, grandstand side of the ground. Marshall, clear tap. And he's back. No, umpire says, give it to me. You can hear in the background there, Keaton Edwards, the Wynyard fraternity, asking for a free kick. Butler, Ryan, Castles, up a number towards half forward. No one able to take the mark. Roving there brilliantly was Barker. Gets the handball back to Wynyard. Wynyard back to Barker. They square the football. Looking for Lowe. Gets to Masons. Up and under a kick again. And the ball's going to be hit across the point post for one behind. 3-3-21. Devonport 2-1-13. 8 points to margin. Lead to the Devonport Magpies. Griffith bringing the ball out towards grandstand side. Up to half forward. Weller unable to take the mark. Closely followed by Jonty Clark. Difficult conditions for the big men today. It's going to be slippery. Underfoot. Billy Marshall. Tap down. Butler follows up his work. Gets thrown around in a tackle there by Keaton Edwards, and he will get the free kick across half-back. Boozer side. Grandstand side of the ground. Looks for Castles at centre wing. Finds him. Running through was Lowe. By a chain of handballs. Finds Elmer. Elmer's kicked. Inside forward 50. Turning around the corner was Van Buren. Unfortunately, there goes into the hands, safe hands of Brandon Howard. Looks to transfer footy out towards Wolf on the Saunders Street side. It's coming back in by Devonport. Ooh, pushing the back. No, says the umpire. Play on. Howard with a strong tackle. Might be on Will Higgins. Wynyard takes the ruck against Billy Marshall. Going this way, going that. Lenny Douglas gets the handball back. They transfer the footy in, and I think that might have been Keegan Lowe, and he's found Charlie Castles just outside the 50-metre arc. Castles will be kicking from inside the centre square. No wind really to speak of, as I mentioned before. Be coming from over left to right. Castles winds up. Kicks inside the centre square. Has it got the distance? It's gone across the face of goal. Elmer almost takes the mark. And is that out of bounds or one behind? It's deemed to be one behind. So that's the third rush behind for the Devonport Magpies. 3-4-22. Plays 2-1-13. Magpies lead the Wynyard Cats. 9 points the difference. 26-minute mark. 5 goals. 5 behinds for the quarter. Griffiths, grandstand side wing, looking for Wolf. Runs underneath the football. And a free kick's been given to one of the Devonport Magpie players. That'll be Mitchell. He quickly moves it. Looking for, finding Elmer. Moves and plays on. Kicks inside, forward 50. It's over the top of Lenny Douglas, though, and it will be a boundary throw-in. And that's the siren. Wynyard, 2-1-13. Versus Devonport's 3-4-22. So quarter number 1. Wynyard 2-1-13 versus Devonport's 3-4-22. Our goal kickers for the Devonport Magpies, Charlie Castles 1, Lenny Douglas 1, and Caleb Van Buren, one of the co-captains with his brother, also 1. For the Wynyard Cats, we have Edward Dudfield for 1 and Noah Fleming sharing the captaincy duties today. He's also got 1 goal. So 2-1-13 Wynyard Cats, Devonport 3-4-22. Hopefully we will see very shortly Kent Jackson at quarter time. And we'll have a bit of a chat with Kent about all things at the Wynyard Football Club and the Wynyard Cats. Overcast day here. We had quite a bit of rain overnight on the northwest coast, or far northwest. It's affected the ground. And you can see that through the skills of the players in the first half. Looks like Kent's not going to be making his way up. He's forgotten he's down there in the huddle with the Wynyard Cats. To the rest of the competition, and that's on display here today. Even though the conditions aren't great for dry weather football, they've done a pretty good job. 7 scoring shots from around about 11 entries in quarter number 1 versus Wynyard's 3 scoring shots to their 7 entries. So they've been dominant. Billy Marshall has been the dominant ruckman in the centre for and around the ground for the Wynyard Cats against Braden Butler mainly. Keegan Weller came in to offer some assistance throughout the course of that quarter while Billy Marshall had a bit of a rest. As I mentioned before, because of the conditions, a little bit wet underfoot, ball's very slippery. It's been hard for the players, in particular the big man, in order to be able to make sure that they have been great with their skills. We're going to take a small break and then we'll be back with you very shortly. As I mentioned before, it's Devonport 3-4-22, leading Wynyard 2-1-13 into the first quarter. For low, not taking it in a tackle, asks for a free kick, comes back out. Oh, that might be over the shoulder. It is, or... Brains Trust just beside me here for the Devonport Magpies. Nick Hesitatis and Mark Lowe. Senior coach Justin Robin down on the boundary line. And Van Buren to the near side. So that's one behind. Cross half back. Transfers play immediately, really quickly. Gets it across to Taj Lillico. He goes further afield. He's looking for Lowe. No, doesn't get him. Jumping onto his Fleming. Gets hit around the head from Lillico. Shoulder at the moment. Oh, he looks in board. The umpire says play on. It's going to make it much more difficult. That's not a bad looking kick though. The captain, Noah Fleming. Butler gets the tap, looking for Castles. Doesn't take it cleanly. Sharman knocks it forward. Ball comes out towards Blair Ryan. Back to Castles on the run from 45. Shot on goal, running goal. He's a dead-eye dick, this boy, Charlie Castles. Ryan in a tackle, gone 360. Back to Low, kicks inside 450, looking for and finding. Make amends. 2 goal scorers so far, Lenny Douglas and Charlie Castles, 2 of the smaller players. Van Buren, no problems. Caleb Van Buren gets on the scoreboard. They square the football, looking for Low. Gets to Masons, and up and under a kick again, and the ball's going to be hit across. Welcome back to the Wynyard Recreation Ground, where we can see that Devonport 3-4-22 hold a 9-point margin against the Wynyard Cats 2-1-13. Devonport will be kicking to the right of screen in the second quarter. Wynyard to the left of screen. We're coming to you from, as I mentioned, the Wynyard Recreation Ground here in the northwest. We are on the grandstand side of the ground, so that's Austin Street side. Devonport will be kicking to the Jenner Street, almost the Wynyard end, right of screen. As Marshall gets the tap down, and Devonport will be kicking to Wynyard will be kicking towards Park Street. Table Cape end to the left of screen. They're going to get a free kick, and that'll be Cal Kubicki into the middle. Looking for Billy Sharman. Doesn't get the free kick. Lenny Douglas kicks the ball back inside. Forward 50. Brasendale takes the mark, though, for Wynyard. Goes out wide, up in centre wing. Billy Marshall again. Kicks the ball short. He's looking for Weller. I'm not sure that was the best option. Maybe space behind him. Weller follows up, along with his teammate there in Marley Bourne, and apply a bit of pressure to Jonty Clark for the Devonport Magpies. Going to boundary throw in. We're on the grandstand side, Austin Street side of the ground, just in front of the Devonport interchange. Got the Brains Trust back up here in the box, so that's Mark Lowe for Devonport, along with Nick Hizatatis. They're part of the coaching group for the Devonport Magpies. Justin Rodman down on the ground. Kick there from Blair Ryan. Comes from their boundary throw-in. No one able to take the mark. Picking up was Harry Elmer. Gets it out to Dell. That's a good kick. Looks for and finds Miller Young. Kicks the ball. Well, actually, I thought it was a shot on goal to the top of the goal square. Charlie Castles is actually asking that question, why didn't you? And he gets one behind in the second quarter. Kabicki with the football now. It's in defensive 50, kicks outside. Lee Feber. Prominent early, and in the back half of the first quarter, wasn't seen as much. Came up from North Hobart this year. Former Wynyard boy. Was a part of the AFL Tas Academy program. Really grown in stature, both physical and also with regards to his maturity as a footballer. Marshall. Tap down. Howard. Roving. Must be playing some ruck roving duties today at times. It's a scrap for the football. Half forward, other side of the ground. Lyons. Doesn't get the football. Low. Not clean. Egger out after him. Not clean either. Lyons again. Low. Dishes it out now wide. Looks for our point scorer a minute ago. Miller Young. Got some poise, this young kid. That's a great kick. Charlie Castles plays on. Looks inboard. Doesn't find though his kick. Leafheber tries to chop it off. Elmer out after him. Ball's very slippery. Kabicki just throws it onto the boots in centre square. Is it going to come off for the Cats? Fleming. He's got to be clean. He gets his kick away. Wasn't. After Lee drives, jumps over the top of the football. Fletcher Kelly. Ball out now to Ren Smith. Gets a handball to his teammate in Marley Bourne. Looks inboard. That's a poor kick. Two Magpies. They relieve the pressure. Bo Bramich out to Weller. Lowe. Lowe goes wide looking for Butler. Got Howard on a string. Turns him inside out. Doesn't find his target in Mason. Pushed off the football. Leafheber. Howard. Kabicki. Great chain of handballs. Hodgetts kicks inside forward 50. Looking for Billy Marshall, but it's chopped off there by Dell. And, 50 metres as the tackle was applied there by Josh Wolf, and that was for someone running over the mark. Interesting interpretation by the umpires. Mitchell Dell will receive the resultant 50. Moves him to forward of centre for the Devonport Magpies. Goes wide. Finds Harry Barker onto that trusty left boot. Shoots towards goal, but it's towards the near side, and it's a second behind for the quarter for the Devonport Magpies. They move to 3-6, 24, 2-1, 13, the Wynyard Cats. 11 points the margin now. Under a bit of pressure, the Cats. Fleming looking for, unfortunately doesn't quite find Howard cleanly. Hodgetts back to Fleming, misses the football. Castles brings the ball back in towards one of their leaders in Quade Byatt. He has a shot over his left shoulder. That's a great snap, and that's his first for the quarter. So 4 goal kickers for the Devonport Magpies. Quade Byatt, the first in the second quarter. Second, Charlie Castles, Lenny Douglas and Caleb Van Buren also kicking one each in the first quarter. So they move out to a 17-point differential. Devonport 4-6, 30. Wynyard Cats 2-1, 13. Danger now. Danger for the Wynyard Cats. Last 3 goals have been to Devonport. Marshall applies some pressure to Lowe. Lowe gets his kick. According to umpire Blizzard, he gets a free kick and it's further down the ground. No, it's coming back. So, centre square, dealt with or manhandled inappropriately, according to Cameron Blizzard. And Lowe goes short, finds Butler. Starting to turn on as Butler gives the hands back to Lowe. They need to do something about this, the Wynyard Cats. Goes short, finds on the 50-metre arc. Harry Barker on the right side for a left footer. It's a beautiful kick. Galveston product. Formerly part of the AFL Tas Academy program. In his early 20s. Wind just coming straight over his back. Rolls out on that left boot. That's a beautiful looking kick. He salutes. And that's his first. Warning bells for the Wynyard Cats. They go further behind. So Devonport 5-6, 36. 23 points in arrears. 2-1, 13. Blair Ryan coming back on. You can see the fitness, skill set, strategy by the Devonport Magpies starting to undo. The Wynyard Cats. Butler using a particular strategy to offset Billy Marshall's been pretty effective in the last 10 minutes or so, the first quarter, and also at the start of the second. Edwards deemed to be not using the football properly. He's given away a free kick with a 50-metre penalty attached. So, his disposal was, or incorrect disposal. He's been asked to come off the ground for undisciplined measures there and giving away the 50-metre penalty. So, Harry Elmer will have a shot on goal. He's from the 40-metre arc. Classy player, Harry Elmer, part of the Tassie Devils products. Played at North Launceston last year, back at the Devonport Magpies. Local product here on the northwest coast is Harry Elmer. Could be playing. We could be seeing him in the VFL, maybe in the state game next week. So that's his first. That's the third for the quarter. 6-6-42. 6-6-42. Devonport Magpies extend the lead to Wynyard's 2-1-13. 29 points the margin now. Byard into the ruck. Marshall gets a great fist. Free kick umpire. No, play on. Leif Ebbett tries to get his kick. Misses it. Low onto the football. Releases. Back. Lillico. Out wide. Looking for Barker and able to take it. Ren Smith doing some work. Handballs errant. Lillico Taj. Back onto the football. Ball comes towards half forward for Devonport. Running underneath it. Kurt Mason. Oh, geez, good endeavour. Gets the football back to a running Elmer. He looks inboard. No one able to take the mark. Bresendale with a double fister. Out towards Byard. He looks inboard. It's not going to be 15. It'll be play on, says the umpire. Van Buren back to Byard. Takes on the player. Bresendale back to Van Buren. Caleb, that is. He kicks towards goal. This is going to be their fourth on the trot. It is. Stationary kick from 40 metres. That's his second. Caleb Van Buren. One in the first, one in the second. Captain extending the lead, 7-6-48. Devonport Magpies, 2-1-13. What a contrast the first and second quarters have been, in particular the start of the first and second quarters. We're 10 minutes in, and the margin at quarter time was 9 points. Real alarm bells here for Dan Smith and his team as Egger gets the football back towards Wolf. Hasn't touched it. Got the handball. Great tackle there. And he's receives a free kick. It's Braden Van Buren. Marley Bourne. The player that was tackled, so Van Buren kicks in and finds Keegan Lowe. They need to start shutting Keegan Lowe down. He'll be up to 20-plus possessions. Looks across the far side of the ground. Oh, they've got players everywhere. Fletcher Kelly here. He kicks inside, forward 50. Doesn't find his target. Howard does some work. Coming through was Egger. Ryan. No one able to take the football. This young man shows some smarts. That was Miller Young. Kick's being chopped off there in the pocket for the Wynyard Magpies. They kick the ball out wide. Oh, Fleming unable to take the mark. Mason Hodgetts, though, reliable, as always. Stalwart in defence. Kicks the ball down that Saunders Street wing. Kobe Jackson out after that, unable to take it. Good efforts there by Fletcher Kelly. Still follows up. Deemed to be held without being in possession. And he will get the free kick across half-back, and that might be 50 metres. No, says the umpire. Been a little bit more lenient this time. Goes backwards. No, umpire says he's got to come behind the mark. So Fletcher Kelly now with the kick. Saunders Street side, half-back flank. Ask someone to present. That they do. That's Keegan Lowe. Leather poisoning. Back to Kelly. Comes in board. Oh, that kick's not that great, but it's going to come off to Mitchell Dell. Back from Queensland in the quaffle. Oh, that's a great kick. Good hit up too. Young player there. In Young. Gives it to his teammates. Running past. And it's one behind to the near side. And that was Jed Spears. Ball brought out underneath the scoreboard side wing, so on the street side for Wynyard. Asking too much from too few, the Wynyard Cats at the minute. Fletcher Kelly. Whoever's playing on him at the minute needs to do some work with regards to the defensive measures. He goes in boards, finds Braden Butler, been left all alone. They bring the footy back in towards the middle. Van Buren, Braden, got it from Lowe. Goes to the top of the 50. Far side of, near side of the ground, in front of the wet area. Trying to get his kick away was Mason. No one's able to pick it up. Dell in a tackle. Back to Barker. Barker to Ryan. Snaps over his shoulder. Brasendale not clean. The big man needs to be. Don't bring it in, son. Knock it out. That they do. Egger releases the pressure. If only for a moment. Howard drops the football. Devonport through Butler. Kick back inside. No one's able to take the mark. There might have been Young. Good tackle there applied by Clay Griffiths for the Wynyard Cats. Playing his 200th senior game in the NWFL. Congratulations to Clay, former Devonport Magpie and also Ulverston Robin over the journey. And also Ulverston Redhopper. Egger will get the free kick here. Still inside the defensive 50 on the scoreboard side of the ground. Kicks the ball long. Asking for his teammate Marshall to do something. Competes with Kelly. Kelly could see what was happening. Made the effort. 10 to 15 metres to spoil. And it goes out. Wynyard 2-1-13. Devonport 7-7-49. About 15 minutes into the second quarter. 27 points this quarter to the Devonport Magpies. Wynyard yet to score in the second quarter. Ryan picks the ball up, gets tackled over the boundary, and it will be a boundary throw-in. Marshall, Butler. Marshall, I think, got the advantage there. Like a cake of soap on the ground, the ball. Handball cut off by Edwards. They've been able to kick it forward through Wolf. Wynyard Cats going inside forward 50. Kobe Lyons out after the football. Pushed in the back, maybe? No, says the umpire. It'll be a boundary throw in. Nonetheless, they're inside their forward 50. Only the third time this quarter. On the Saunders Street side. Northern end of the ground, really. Towards Table Cape. Magnificent landscape out here at Wynyard on the northwest coast. Devonport able to relieve. There might have been Barker with the kick. Cross out towards half-back. Wynyard are able to bring the ball back in. Edwards has a shot. Taken by Butler, sitting on the last line of defence. Kicks the ball out wide. Young. Further afield to Lowe. What gut running by Keegan Lowe. Delhi comes inside. Doesn't go with that option. Goes further afield. Looking for Lillicoat. Goes over the top of his head. And the ball's transferred just as quickly from one pocket to the other. Opposite side, opposite end of the ground. One of the patrons down there on the Austin Street grandstand. And a street end also to where Magpies are kicking. And I think that's a goal. I think it might have been Kurt Mason that's kicked that. It is indeed Kurt Mason. Received a handball from the pack. And that's his first for the game. They move out to 8-7-55. 8-7-55, the Devonport Magpies. 2-1-13 Wynyard. We're coming up to the 18-minute mark of the second quarter. 33 points to Devonport in the second quarter. Yet to score are Wynyard. In this second quarter, Dan Smith, not sure what he's going to tell these Chargers at half-time. Inside forward 50 they go again. Wynyard kicks the ball off the ground. Castles, geez, clean below his knees. Wheels around, has a shot on goal. Has it got enough? Lillicoat gets the mark. Plays on, kicks the goal. Oh, actually, it's Higgins. Will Higgins, the young man. 39 points this quarter. 9-7-61 the Devonport Magpies. When you catch 2-1-13. Justin Robin will be very happy with what his Chargers have been doing. See some of the Devonport Magpie girls just making their way out of the grandstand here. Came and took the upset against Wynyard. 3-7-25 from behind in the last quarter to Wynyard 2-4-16 in the NWFL Senior Women's. Billy Marshall been wrapped up in a tackle, falls over, and we will get a ball up. No, it was actually Sharon Egger. There's Billy with Harry Barker. Trying to get the tap as well, Billy Marshall. Handball to no one in particular. It was Riley Stafford. Chases up. Not clean. Kobe Jackson picks it up, kicks inside forward 50. Kynan Lee takes the mark. Resolute in defence. Goes on that trusty right boots. Finds Van Buren. Still inside defensive 50. Win not an issue today. Very happy with his charges with Justin Robin B. Devonport Magpies coach. Butler takes the mark. Saunders Street wing. He looks inside. No one, not 15, says the umpire. Barker gets his kick away though. Almost toward, it's on half forward, 50-metre arc. Good pick up there by Charlie Castles. Feeds the footy back. Ball knocked away from Van Buren. And it's deemed to be incorrect disposal. And the free kick will go to Wynyard. Jackson takes the mark. That's a poor handball. Running past it. Josh Wolf he's only had one possession today. Edwards picks the footy back up to Jackson. Jackson cross half forward. Kalkabicki having to work 1 against 3. Not up to the task. Spins out of troubles. Tyler Kelly. Backs towards Brasendale. Wolf. Egger. Weller. It's an up and under kick towards half forward. Lee misread it. Roving and kicking the ball inside with his trusty left foot. Kalkabicki. Back there is their captain though. Braden Van Buren. He kicks the ball long. Mason Hodges takes the mark though. Inside the centre square, but it's defensive side for the Wynyard Cats. He transfers the football wide. Finds Griffith. Further wide. They bring the footy towards Howard at half forward. Still on the Saunders Street side of the ground though. He's a big roost. Can he get it inside forward 50? Doesn't need to. Looks for and finds Leifeber. Tommy Leifeber could have a shot on goal here. Wind's not an option, not a problem. He chooses to kick towards a leading Kobe Lyons. Takes the mark. Angle though, very difficult. They're only about 20 metres out. Interesting to see what he does here. They need to score very badly. Goes onto his left. But he brings it too far. And it's only 1 behind. Drags it towards the near side. 2-2-14 the Wynyard Cats. 9-7-61 the Devonport Magpies. Tyler Kelly kicks the ball into centre square. Blair Ryan runs onto the handball. Kicks inside forward 50. No one's able to take the mark. Wolf. Good pick up by the big man. Turns one way, turns the other. Puts a handball though to space. Running back onto it is Blair Ryan. He gets a handball. Unable to take the ball cleanly, but just gets a handball out. That was Lenny Douglas. Ball comes to Leifeber. He kicks towards half forward. They repel again through the services of Kine and Lee. Good kick. Blair Ryan on the end of it. Been in this passage of play 3 times in the space of 30 seconds. He's going to have to kick from inside the centre square if he wants to make the distance. It's going to be close on 50, 55 metres. Thinks he's got it in him. The pocket dynamo from the Devonport Magpies having a sensational season. Gets very close to the man on the mark. Has he got the distance? He does, but it drifts to the right. Stays right. And goes for 1 behind. So that's his first score of the day. 1 behind. 9-8-62. Plays Wynyard 2-2-14. Ball centre square. Kelly wraps up. The Wynyard player will have another ball up. A lot of contested possession here today at Wynyard Recreation Ground. It's not raining, but it is rather wet. Underfoot for the players. Edwards getting the kick there. Away. Kine Lee doing the work for Devonport across half back. Transfers back towards Van Buren. Van Buren to Tyler Kelly. He goes further towards centre wing, grandstand side. Caleb Van Buren this time. Not clean with... Oh, no, Mason not clean with the football. Dudfield getting the kick. And it goes inside forward 50 for them, but over the boundary line in front of Lions, and we will get a boundary throw-in. 2-2-14, Wynyard Cats plays 9-8-62. 28 points the margin to the Devonport Magpies. Butler misses the pill. Jackson puts Kabicki under a lot of pressure. Umpire Cameron Blizzard says, give it to me, lads. Weller wins the ruck this time. Goes to no one in particular. Ryan trying to do some work, asking for a free kick. Doesn't get one. Another ball up with results. Butler, 2 hands towards space. Kabicki on top of the football. Blizzard says, give it to me. No prior opportunity. Weller wins it again. Who's going to be clean? Kubicki gets one over the shoulder. He's going to get a free kick. Howard could have gone on with it, chose not to. Gives it back to Cal Kubicki. Wouldn't be much time left in the quarter. We're coming up to 27 minutes. Not much movement by the Wynyard Cats. No doubt they'd be somewhat deflated this quarter. Will he go to the top of the goal square? Decides to play on. Kicks the ball long. No one able to take the mark. It's touched and it goes through. So it's a rush behind for the Wynyard Cats. Van Buren. Braden Van Buren takes the kick in. Too easy. Blair Ryan. Got 15 metres on Kobe Jackson. Kicks the ball to half forward, inside forward 50. Young man, Miller Young. Leading Ren Smith. Been taught a lesson today has been Ren Smith. And to receiving the football was Lenny Douglas from Harry Elmer, and that's a great snap. Smart by the young man. So Lenny Douglas's second goal for the game, first in the second quarter. The lead moves out to 43 points. 2-3-15, the Wynyard Cats. Devonport 10-8-68. They've had a couple of behinds this quarter, the Wynyard Cats. Devonport Magpies have been unbelievable with a 46 points in this second quarter. No one's able to take the ball cleanly out of the centre square. Umpire deems there a free kick and it goes to Devonport. Low kicks inside forward 50. There's the siren. So the mark won't count to Caleb Van Buren. And we see 2-3-15. The Wynyard Cats, Devonport Magpies, 10-8-68. At the end of the second quarter, our goal scorers for the Wynyard Cats are as follows. Edward Dubfield for one in the first quarter, along with Noel Fleming, the captain, who was surprisingly quiet in that second quarter. But for the Devonport Magpies, multiple goal scorers are Lenny Douglas and Caleb Van Buren, one each in the first and second quarter. Our single goal kickers for the Devonport Magpies, Charlie Castles, one in the first, Will Higgins in the second, Quay Byatt in the second, Harry Barker, Kurt Mason and Harry Ormer also in the second quarter. So Justin Rodman will be very happy with his Chargers away from home today, playing at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. They lead at 10-8-68. Dan Smith will need to reconfigure the strategy for the Wynyard Cats in the second half of this game. Their first quarter worked well with regards to their defensive pressure and intent. However, they have been unable to keep with a very skilled and fit-looking Devonport lineup in that second quarter. We'll take a break here from the Wynyard Recreation Ground. We'll get some messages from our sponsors, and we look forward to seeing you very shortly for the start of the second half here at Wynyard. Able to take the mark. Picking up was Harry Elmer. Gets it out to Dell. That's a good kick. Looks for and finds Miller Young. Kicks the ball. Well, actually, I thought it was moves him to forward of centre for the Devonport Magpies. Goes wide. Finds Harry Barker onto that trusty left boot. Shoots towards goal, but it's towards the near side, and it's a second behind for the quarter for the 1-13, the Wynyard Cats. 11 points the margin now. Under a bit of pressure, the Cats. Fleming looking for. Unfortunately, doesn't quite find Howard cleanly. Hodgetts back to Fleming. Misses the football. Castles brings the ball back in towards one of their leaders in Quay Byatt. He has a shot over his left shoulder. That's a great snap. And Hartley gives the hands back to Lowe. Need to do something about this. The Wynyard Cats go short. Finds on the 50-metre arc. Harry Barks. Wind just coming straight over his back. Rolls out on that left boot. That's a beautiful looking kick. He salutes. Measures there, giving away the 50-metre penalty. So Harry Elmer will have a shot on goal. He's from the 40-metre arc. Classy player, Harry Elmer, part of the Tassie Devils products. Ball back to a running Elmer. He looks inboard. No one able to take the mark. Bresendale with a double fister. Out towards Wynyard. He looks inboard. It's not going to be 15. It'll be play on, says the umpire. Van Buren back to Wynyard. Takes on the player. Bresendale back to Van Buren. Caleb, that is. He kicks towards goal. This is going to be their fourth on the trot. It is. Stationary kick from 40 metres. Down there on the Austin Street grandstand. And a street end also to where Magpies are kicking. And I think that's a goal. In this second quarter. Dan Smith, not sure what he's going to tell these Chargers at half time. Inside forward 50 they go again. Wynyard kicks the ball off the ground. Castles, geez, clean below his knees. Wheels around, has a shot on goal. Has it got enough? Lillico gets the mark. Plays on, kicks the goal. Shot on goal here. Wins not an option, not a problem. He chooses to kick towards a leading Kobe Lyons. Takes the mark. Angle though, very different. They're only about 20 metres out. Interesting to see what he does here. They need to score very badly. Goes onto his left. But he brings it too far. They repel again through the services of Kine and Lee. Good kick. Blair Ryan on the end of it. Been in this passage of play 3 times. Dynamo from the Devonport Magpies having a sensational season. Gets very close to the man on the mark. Has he got the distance? He does, but it drifts to the right. Stays right. Too easy. Blair Ryan. Got 15 metres on Kobe Jackson. Kicks the ball to half forward, inside forward 50. Young man, Millie Young. Leading Ren Smith. Been taught a lesson today, has been Ren Smith. And receiving the football was Lenny Douglas from Harry Elmer, and that's a great snap.
Dad, it's nearly time for holiday program.
All right, I suppose I can drive you. Yes.
It's nearly time for holiday program.
All right, I suppose I can drive you.
Yes.
Welcome back here to the Wynyard Recreation Ground, where we see Devonport at half-time. Start of the third quarter, 10-8-68, leading Wynyard 2-3-15. It'll be interesting to see how the Wynyard Cats are able to respond in the start of the second half. Dan Smith's made some changes in regards to the personnel and their positioning. Prime example of that is Sharman's out here on the wing against Mitchell Dell. Leafheber into the middle. Hodgetts onto the wing on the far side. Devonport will be the status quo. Butler starting just inside on the opposite side of the centre square for the ruckman. Trying to negate Marshall. Marshall gets the tap the third time round. Logue is the recipient of the football though, and he does as he pleases out towards the opposite side wing. So that's Saunders Street. Talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, I need to apologise. Left of screen is Jenner Street, and to the right of screen is Park Street. So going to the Jenner Street end are the Devonport Magpies. And Van Buren inside forward 50. No one able to take the mark. Players fly. Kicking it out was Cal Kabicki running onto the football. Was Bo Bramich, and he hits up his target, or finds his target just inside the forward 50 towards the Table Cape end of the ground. Close to the man on the mark was Harry Elmer. It's not a bad looking kick, but he's hooked it to the left-hand side. And that's his first behind of today's game. Goal in the second quarter there to Harry Elmer. Been prominence. Could be a part of the state team next week. He's our 200 game player for the Wynyard Cats. Clay Griffiths kicks the ball out. That's a great kick. Out towards the scoreboard side wing. It's almost at half forward. It is now. Picking it up. Taking them on is Sharon Egger. From outside forward 50. He has a shot on goal. It's going to run forward. Oh, just to the near side. So it could have been a start that the Cats wanted from the captain. However, it's gone through for a one behind. As the Seagulls enter the ground here, coming from the grandstand side. That's the Austin Street side of the ground. Good kick, finding Butler. Bramich towards centre forward. Good mark taken by Clay Griffiths. Transfers play. No nonsense play as Clay Griffiths finds Billy Sharman. Cross half back. Left boot. Brasendale. Inboard. Smith. Not sure where to go. Decides to go backwards. Backtrack. Brasendale. Darcy. Hodgetts. Oh, it goes. Where's he going? Back towards Brasendale? Over to Smith. So they haven't gone anywhere as yet. Coming back towards Billy Sharman from where he had the football initially. And under pressure there by Mitchell Dell from Devonport Magpies, and it goes out of bounds right in front of Justin Rodman and the Devonport interchange. Boundary throw in, grandstand side of the ground. 69 plays 16. Marshall with the tap. Straight down to Keegan Lowe. Over the top of the football, Wynyard. Brasendale, Curtis. Goes back to his teammate there in Griffiths and unable to take it cleanly, and it goes out in front of Keegan Weller. So we'll have another boundary throw-in right on the 50-metre arc. Forward 50 for the Devonport Magpies to the left of screen. Butler against Marshall. Marshall, low, brilliant roving. Dell evades one, straight towards goal. Classy. Mitchell Dell, first of the third. They extend the lead. At the 59 points, 11-9-75 are the Devonport Magpies, 2-4-16, and it's taken all of 4 minutes for the Devonport Magpies to get back on the scoring sheet through the services of Mitchell Dell. Man today that's had leather poisoning has been Keegan Lowe for the Devonport Magpies. Look forward to seeing him represent the state next week. Butler starting that unusual position, trying to stop That jump by Billy Sharman. No, not Billy Sharman, my apologies. Billy Marshall for the Wynyard Cats. Leaf Heber kicks the ball off the ground. Kelly, Fletcher, Ryan, Wynyard. Evades one, comes back inside. Transfers the footy. They just hold their space really well to the Devonport Magpies. Bo Bramich gives it to his captain in Braden Van Buren. A good inside 50 entry. They fly. No one's able to take the mark. Ball to ground. That's holding the football. Wrapped up in the tackle. And taking that free kick will be Curtis Brasendale. Finds Weller. Keegan. Looking for Jackson. Grandstand wing. Ball holds up. Oh, it goes for him. It'll be a free kick. Umpire didn't go for the football. He went for the man. Edwards gets his kick away, though, to half forward. Making an effort was Duffield for Wynyard to bring the ball to ground. Follows up with a tackle. Kelly. Lee. Ryan. Blair Ryan and a new Guernsey, number 42. Gives it to Elmer, receives it back. Inside forward 50. Looking for, not quite finding, Young. But he's deemed to have been held without the football. And he's going to take the kick on a 45-degree angle. Kicking towards, as I've been advised, the Jenner Street end. Towards Taple Cape. That's the left of screen. Wind still hasn't, or won't trouble him. Hasn't got up at all. Got some talent, this kid. And he's pretty happy about it. He tells Ren Smith. Well done to Miller Young. That's his first of the game. Second of the quarter for the Devonport Magpies. They move out to 12-9-81. 2-4-16, the Wynyard Cats. Coming up to 6.5 minutes into the third quarter. Hands on hips is Billy Sharman. Number of the players would be a little bit despondent for the Wynyard Cats at the moment. Kobe Lyons also waiting in the interchange. Butler with that interesting starting position. Has been very effective. Marshall, though, gets up this time, gets the tap down. Needs Leaf Heber to do some work. Does do so. Wrapped up in a tackle. We'll start it again. Forward to centre for the Wynyard Cats. 2-4-16 the Cats. 12-9-81. Devonport Magpies, Marshall down. Ball knocked back, and it's deemed to be in the back by Marshall to Braden Butler. And he gets the free kick. Goes wide. Finds where Keegan low. Back inboard, back to Butler. Just doing as they please, the Magpies at the moment. Cross to the runner. Lenny Douglas flies, unable to take the mark. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and we will have a boundary throw in as the sun comes through from the clouds. A bit of a chat amongst some of the locals at half-time. We're starting to get a bit of warmth here at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. Might help a bit of play towards the back end of today's proceedings, in particular for the ball players to be able to pick the ball up. Not a cake of soap. No one able to take it from the boundary throw in. Kibiki wrapped up in a tackle by two Magpies. Barker and Young. Marshall wins it again. Wynyard. Van Buren. Low. Kibiki takes the mark inside. Good intercept. Smart player. Uses his left boot. Goes long looking for Lyons. Strong mark. Mitchell Dell. Smarts. Looks inboard. Looking for Wynyard. Good mark. Shows some courage. Centre forward position. True. Over the top of Van Buren. Getting the hand passed out was Griffiths, 200 gamer. Keegan Weller, Brasendale, poor kick. Comes back to Mitchell Dell, had it there before. Runs around inside. And again, his kick, though, is a poor one. And it's chopped off there by Clay Griffiths. Doing well. Leaf Heber, Kibiki. Blair Ryan gets it to his teammates in Mason there, and goes to stays rights. 4-1 behind. 1-1 to Kurt Mason. Ball goes out towards Saunders Street. Leafheber gets resultant handball. Looking for Jackson, unable to take the mark. Dives back onto the football. Shows some real endeavour. Good with regards to spatial awareness. Leafheber gets the ball back. Inside forward 50. It's a bit of a mongrel kick. Josh Wolfe struggled today. Lowered his colours to Kynan Lee and company from the Devonport Magpies. Good pressure applied by Jackson. Back to Billy Sharman. Over to Leafheber. Round the corner. No one able to take the mark. So Brandon Howard was swamped, and it's a rush behind to the Wynyard Magpies in the first of the third quarter. 2-5-17 plays 12-10-82. Strong lead to the Devonport Magpies. Braden Van Buren kicks the ball long out towards the scoreboard wing. Mason Hodgetts able to take the football cleanly. Looks for a free kick. Ball knocked forward by the Devonport Magpies. Kissick runs onto it. Or the recipient of Keegan Lowe looks inboard and finds. I think that's Young. Yes, it is. He's going to be going for his second of the quarter. Should be no trouble for him. Commentator's curse. Let's see what happens. Miller Young. Little half step. No problem. And that's his second of the quarter. Third for the Devonport Magpies this quarter. And they continue on their merry way. 13-10, 88 to 2-5-17. So 20 points added to the total from the Devonport Magpies. In the third quarter, and 2 behinds to the Wynyard Cats. Quay Byard into the ruck. Going to use a similar tactic to what Braden Butler is doing in order to be able to stop Marshall. Looks like we had a 6-6-6 issue. And so the resultant ball up. Centre forward for Wynyard Cats. Trying to take them on with Kobe Lyons. He's caught in a tackle. Kynan Lee. Cross half back. Finds Lowe. Scoreboard side wing. Brings the ball back into Fletcher Kelly. Very prominent early. He looks inboard. Looking for Ryan. Unable to take it. Wolf runs onto the football. Knocks it forward. Leafheber has a crack at it. Out of midair. Ball goes forward. Fletcher Kelly jumps on top of it. Wraps up the Wynyard opponent. And a ferocious tackle. And the umpire says, give it to me. We are at half forward flank for the Wynyard Cats. Kicking to the right of screen. It's the town end. Quickest way home, straight through the middle, here at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. Billy Marshall wins the tap. Kelly runs onto it. Trapped up in a tackle by Marley Bourne. Son of Errol. Had a very quiet day today as Marley. Lilico, handball to no one in particular. Almost rugby-like, the phases of play at the moment. No one able to make real ground. We're now inside the forward 50 for the Wynyard Cats. Standing up on top of the football there was Marley Bourne. Blair Ryan wrapped up in a tackle as the ball comes down. First recipient from the ruck. 88 plays, 17. Devonport Magpies lead, 71 points. Kelly on the back end of that. Fletcher, that is. Gets a kick out towards half-back. Lilico over the top. Finds Low. Comes inboard. Went with one hand was Douglas. Deemed to be over the shoulder, and Keegan Lowe will be the recipient of the free kick. Was Clay Griffiths with the tackle. He goes wide to Barker. Barker inside forward, 50 now. Onto his trusty left. He's gone across the face of goal. Ball still in. And taking it across was Riley Stafford. So, fourth rush behind for the Devonport Magpies today. Hodgetts goes short. Griffiths. Can't doubt his endeavour today. It's been terrific in his 200th. Up to halfway. So centre wing, Lyons goes wide. Handball, recipient. Billy Sharman kicks the ball inside forward, 50, deep entry. It's towards the pocket. Brandon Howard has had it, knocks it over the boundary line, and we're going to have a boundary throw in. 17 plays 89. 13-11. Devonport 2-5. The Wynyard Cats. Sun's out here at the Wynyard Recreation Centre. Beautiful outlook here on the northwest coast. Locals have gone quiet since quarter time. Good follow up there by Howard. Marley Bourne, smart. Kick to the top of the goal square. Jackson doesn't take the mark. And that's rushed through by the Devonport Magpie defence for one behind. Third rush behind for the Wynyard Cats. 2-6-18, 13-11, 89. The Magpies. Out to Fletcher Kelly. Cross half back. He's had the ball on a string. That's a beautiful kick up towards half forward for them. 55 metres. Douglas doing some work on, actually, was Harry Elmer. Barker has had it stripped by Sharon Egger. He's a very smart footballer, Egger. That's a poor kick, though. Running onto it's Fletcher Kelly. Gets it back from Butler. Gives it to Ryan. Ryan wrapped up in a tackle. That's a great tackle. Gets rewarded. Well done, Keaton Edwards. Wynyard Cats. He's asked to play on. That's not 15. Billy Sharman trying to work overtime to clean the football. He's unable to do so. Van Buren inside forward 50. Looking for Young. Good pressure by Dudfield. Boundary throw in. Saunders Street side of the wing. Beautiful English River on that side of the town. Ever up this way. Go for a paddle down English River. I think they can do some water skiing during the summer. Great golf courses. Also, the Wynyard Golf Course, right out onto the point, top of the mouth of the English River. They bring the ball inside 50. Low gets the handball from Barker. Not sure what he was trying to do there. Been a little bit too cute. Charlie Cassels runs onto the footy. He's a smart footballer. He finds his captain. So that's Caleb Van Buren. Number 33. He'll be kicking for his third. He's had one in the first, one in the second. So we see Keegan Lowe come off the ground for the Devonport Magpies. He's going to be replaced by Lenny Douglas. Gets an ovation there by the Devonport Constabulary. They're here at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. So Caleb Van Buren, no wind to speak of. In the sunshine. From 35. And it's out to the near side. 2 goals, 2 behinds for Caleb Van Buren today. 90 plays 18. Magpies lead. 72 points the margin. Griffith brings the footy back in. Touches it on the ground. Finds Marshall. Marshall to Lyons. Lyons now. Steps onto his left boot. Kicks inside forward 50. Jackson. Competitive effort. Follows back up. Is he smart enough to keep it in and kick a goal? Not quite. Devonport Magpies. Great defence there. Right on the goal line. Braden Van Buren. They're able to feed the footy out. Kurt Mason's a recipient. Scoreboard side at halfback. Van Buren. Caleb. Centre wing. Blair Ryan. Wearing number 42. Goes wide. looking for and finding Douglas. Had the play on. Corralled by Bramich. Ball's turned over. Leafheber. That's a poor kick. Under pressure. And they just work the ball very effectively. The Devonport Magpies. They're going to get it back inside forward 50 through the services of Van Buren. Wolf drops a sitter. Castles jumps on top of it. But it's to the near side. And 1-1 to Charlie Castles today. And we've called for time off as when your player goes to collect it, could be the 200 game player in Clay Griffiths. (91 plays 18. Devonport Magpies lead. 73 points to margin. In fact, I think it might be Mason Hodgetts. It is indeed. He plays on now. Goes on to that trusty left. No mark. Ball brought back inside it. Receiving it via hands was Blair Ryan. That's a good effort there by Charlie Castles. Gets his arm in, follows the ball all up. Looks over his Wynyard opponent. Oh, it's a raffle here. Harry Elmer with a banana on the fly. No, and it's gone to the right-hand side. So he's kicked 2 goals, 2 today. 1 goal, 2 to Harry Elmer. 74 points to the margin. 92 plays 18 in favour of the Magpies. Griffith, recipient of the kick-in. Goes wide. It's looking for Marshall. Doesn't make it. Intercepting is the young man in Lillico. Scrap for it. Right in front of the interchange. Leafheber tries to duck under. About to Bourne. Not being clean with the hands there was Riley Stafford. Follows back up. Gives it to Billy Marshall. Tries to get a handball. It's ineffective. It goes to Dell. Castles. Byard. On the left. Finds a hit-up player. Van Buren. He works for a deep entry inside forward 50. Oh, Young! Doesn't quite take the mark from behind. Kabicki grabs the spoils. Poise shown there by Griffiths. Relieving pressure by Keegan Weller. Finds Marley Baunce. Play on. Touch football. That's good poise. Looking for Billy Sharman. Good courage by Billy Sharman. Up against Taj Lillico. Receives one for all his efforts. Across the midriff. Ask the boys to slow down. We just need to think about what we're doing. Decides to go back inboards on the 45. Cameron Drodds. Across to Curtis Brasendale. Griffith. Smith. Further afield. Win your boys. This is working. Hodgetts. Centre wing. Grandstand side. I think that's Kabicki. In front of the Todd Rogers signs. Wynyard scoreboard. Kicks inside forward 50. No one home for Wynyard. Standing underneath the football there was Jed Spears. Transfers the footy really quickly. Kicks out to Taj Lillico. Still inside their defensive 50. He looking for Weller. His kick doesn't come off. Taking the mark was Kobe Jackson. His endeavour's been terrific today. Keegan Lowe been asked to come back on the mark. Locals getting into it here. The Wynyard kick, not a great one, and it's completely out of bounds on the full. It's one of the problems with Wynyard today. They haven't got reward for effort. Some of their endeavour has been fantastic. Clark. Van Buren, what a kick. Tyler Kelly. Marley, no, Drodds. No, Marley Bourne, my apologies. Gets his hands to the football. Good defensive spoil. We need to come away through the services. Kabicki, his handball's a poor one. Puts his teammate under a lot of pressure. He's up to it though. Kicks inside forward 50. Great mark. Going back with the fly to the football. Fletcher Kelly. Looks for and finds Mitchell Dell. He's a classy player, Dell. Back from the quaffle. Been up in Queensland for a few years. Looks inboards. Always deemed to be 15. And taking the mark there is Jonty Clark. He goes back to Fletcher Kelly. Oh, great smother there by Brandon Howard. Ball though, ricochets out towards Van Buren. Over to Lowe. Would have done 13, 14 Ks today. There he is, resolute in defence to try and regain stalwart. Clay Griffiths looks inboard and he's found a teammate, but he's played on. It's holding the football. Must have been deemed not a mark. And a free kick has been given, I think, to Sharon Egger. So it was a bit confusing there between the two umpires, but Blizzard, the more senior of the umpiring fraternity out on the ground today, adjudicates a free kick to Sharon Egger. Co-captain with Noah Fleming. Out to Mason Hodgett's gone further wide. Finds Billy Sharman. Centre wing scoreboard side. 2-6-18. Plays 13-14-92. Still in possession. Wynyard. Leafever. Back to Griffiths. Smith. Plays on. Oh, that's an up and under kick. Geez, you're putting your captain in a bit of a predicament there, Wren. Edwards. Marshall. On the fly from 45. And is it out on the full or is there's a free kick? I've missed what's happened. And the free kick will be going to Fletcher Kelly. So something happened after the kick there. Not 100% sure. Cameron Blizzard, though, senior umpire, saw it and has called it. So Fletcher Kelly goes back towards Van Buren, and he's going to go straight back to Fletcher Kelly. Not sure the reason why for that. Nonetheless, they've got a margin in which they can play with. Edwards, under pressure from Kelly. Lowe's able to get rid of it. He's a recipient of a handball from Van Buren. Leafever repels. Comes out towards Egger. By hand. Bourne. Bernard's Keegan Weller, my apologies, has a shot on goal from outside 45. And that's his first of the afternoon. Keegan Weller. They've done it the hard way. First goal for them since the first quarter. They move to 3-6-24. Devonport 13-14-92. 27 minutes gone into the third quarter. Close to three-quarter time. Devonport dominated since quarter time. Fantastic effort by the Wynyard Cats in the first quarter. In particular, the first 20 minutes. And from there, it's been generally all one-way traffic. And there's the siren at three-quarter time. Hopefully, we'll be having a chat with Brendan Clark from the Devonport Magpies, the president of the Devonport Magpies. He's going to come up and have a bit of a yarn. But our three-quarter time score, we see 3-6-24. The Wynyard Cats, Devonport 13-14-92. The Devonport Magpies. Our goal kickers are as follows. For the Wynyard Cats, Keegan Weller won in the third, and in the first we had Edward Dudfield and Noah Fleming. For the Devonport Magpies, 2 to Miller Young, both in the third. Caleb Van Buren, one in the first and one in the second, and also Lenny Douglas, one in the first and one in the second. Singles to Harry Elmer, Mitchell Dell, Kurt Mason, Harry Barker, Quade Byard, and also to Charlie Castles and Will Higgins. Coming up very shortly, we're going to be having a chat with the Devonport president. Mr. Brendan Clark from the Devonport Magpies. And we're going to be talking all things about the Devonport club, in particular the one club mentality. So, Brendan, welcome here to the Wynyard Recreation Ground. The players in the seniors, both the women and the men, delivered on the stage today here at Wynyard.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, it's been a good afternoon down here at the Wynyard Footy Ground, particularly for the women. They've had a focus to try and get up with those two main teams, the Wynyard Cats and the Penguin Blues, as far as the women's roster goes. So for them to get a win today is reward for effort, and yeah, it really does give them some encouragement and a little bit momentum, I think, going into the rest of the season.
They got a healthy percentage, the women. Who were some of the stars today? I watched the game last week, and I noticed Sarah Skinner was no doubt best on field, but Megan Hodge and Kelsey Herm are also extremely good, and I think the debutante, Jasmine Connell, last week in the ruck.
Yeah, Jasmine played really well, which got her up into one of the Devils teams. She wasn't out there today, but yeah, as you mentioned, Sarah Skinner, of course, our gun recruit. She's been invaluable for the football club, both on field and off field this year. And she played a great game. So too did Reagan Kettle in the middle, and Kelsey Ahern down back, some of our really our stalwarts as far as our women program goes. Yeah, so they played really well. And of course, our younger girls continue to improve. Neve Harding in the ruck just battles really hard all day for such a young girl. And yeah, the other juniors, the ones that made their debut last week, they played well, and we continue to try and lead those under 17 girls throughout the season.
Fantastic. What about the one club mentality? So, under the mentorship of Kurt Wynyard a number of years ago, the club really had a focus with regards to development from within and in and around the district. It's obviously come to fruition over the course of the last few years. So I think is that 4 on the trot for the senior men's?
4 on the trot for the senior men's, 3 on the trot for the development team or the reserves level. Have they sort of progressed from that? And yeah, just that one club mentality, basically having a club where everybody feels welcome and included and involved. The atmosphere is very family oriented. And we all feel part of the one club. It doesn't matter what your role is, such as myself as the president, or potentially somebody who just helps out on a Thursday night down in the kitchen washing the plates. We're all the same. We're all treated exactly the same. And we treat each other with respect. That's built a culture where our players want to remain at the club, despite incentives and offers to go elsewhere. We're really heartened by the fact that they want to remain at the football club, be part of the one club mentality and be part of this success. And the evolution of the club back into a respected community asset and one that contributes back to its community as well.
Fantastic. Talking about, we'll get the camera to turn back towards the ground, and I might ask you to just come and join me back up here in the box. I just want to ask about one of those club members that have been involved for an extended period of time. I had a bit of a chat with him earlier on today. So David Bell. So Belly's been around the club for...
Tony Bell.
Oh, Tony Bell, sorry. Yeah, Tony Bell's been around the club. I think he's got a shoulder replacement going on at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a little injury at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's been heart and soul of being around the footy club for a number of years. So even from when I was a junior. So that'll be going on 35 years ago, I reckon.
Yes, well, his wife, the wonderful Lynn, she received life membership last year at our annual dinner, and she's been involved for over 40 years. So that tells you how long Tony's been around at the club as well. And he's one of those stalwarts, those icons around the club that we are very, very fortunate to have. Himself, Ted Smith, Peter Davin, Pip Emery. There's any number of those older guys that have been around the club for so long, and none more so than Athol McIver, of course.
Absolutely.
And that's it's a real bonus that we have them, but we're also conscious that we need to continue to find volunteers to step up because we can't always be reliant on those long-term contributors.
Tell us about some of the young players that are coming through for the Devonport Football Club in the senior ranks at the moment. So I've noticed Kynan Lee out here today. A young fella that's also been very prominent was Tars Lilico, but up front, Miller Young.
Yeah, it's a terrific opportunity for the younger guys. We're in the middle of our mid-season injury crisis, I suppose, with up to 12 senior players sidelined at the moment. So it really does provide that opportunity, and it's important for their pathway and their development that they get this exposure at senior level. And you've seen, as you mentioned, Miller Young playing up forward today. a real prospect for the football club, but I think for Tasmanian football in general. Taj Luko down back, him and Will Higgins, two best mates, have made their debut together a few years ago, and a few weeks ago, and they've remained in the team together, which is really good. And as you mentioned, Kynan Lee. Well, Kynan's in and out at the moment because he's off to the Devils every second or so week, which is again testament to his ability and the engagement that all of those juniors have had with the Devonport Football Club junior program. So we put a lot of time into it, and we're starting to see some of the rewards for it.
Well, that sounds very ominous with the fact that you've got 12 senior players that are out of the senior lineup at the moment. I want to ask you about 92 plays 24 at the moment. As we speak, Millie Young takes the mark inside forward 50 on about a 45-degree angle. He'll be kicking towards, I need to get this right because I noticed some of the locals got hold of me a little bit earlier, Park Street end. So he'll be kicking towards the Park Street end. The two boys from last year, Lenny Douglas and Harry Elmer, so they've been involved with the Tassie development program.
Yes.
So we see Millie Young come through and goes across the face of goal, and that will be 2 goals, 2 for Miller throughout the course of this game. Score is 93 to the Magpies, 24 for Wynyard. So having those two boys decide to stay home, I would have thought that they might have gone to the mainland to increase their prospects from a VFL standpoint.
Yeah, well, when they were playing with North Launceston last year, it was basically on the concept, I suppose, that they needed to be exposed to the highest level of Tasmanian football that was available to them. And so now that we've got the 3 Premier Leagues and we're all, well, as you should, as we assume, we're all on an equal footing, an equal stance. This is still the premium level of Tasmanian football at one of the 3 regional competitions. So we are heartened that both Lenny and as you mentioned, Harry have stayed with the club. What opportunities they get in the future? Well, that remains to be seen, but they're 2 highly skilled footballers, and Harry Elmer continues just to develop as a beast through the middle alongside Keegan Lowe and Blair Ryan.
Yeah, no doubt he's a talent in the making is that young man, Harry Elmer. Another behind there to Millie Young, so we see the score go out to an even 70 points, 94 plays 24. Ball across half-back for the Wynyard Cats. I think that might be Charlie Castles, standing the mark for the Devonport Magpies. Tell me about Charlie. So Charlie's a bit of a odd shape for a footballer, but I tell you what, he's super effective. I remember when I was involved with the academy and we made sure that Charlie was a part of that because he can do some things with the football that not many can.
Yeah, Charlie's a little bit of an enigma down at the football club. He loves his trots. He's a harness racing driver, so he actually drives the trotters as part of what else he does in his life. Heavily mixed up in that, but one of the greatest things about Charlie is what you see is what you get. He's just a roots and all Aussie, typical, nuggety little footballer, but off the field he's a gentle, kind, considerate young man who over the last couple of years has been one of the stalwarts of driving our Auskick program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Charlie gets down there on a Wednesday afternoon and runs our Auskick program. And he also does a bit of teacher aid type work as well, so he has a bit of... that they recognise him through the school network, and that means that he's a little bit of a celebrity amongst the juniors. So he loves it, and so do they.
Harry Barker getting the handball there from Caleb Van Buren. I want to ask you about the 2 Van Buren boys taking on the captaincy together. So they're a shot on goal, and he's going to get a free kick for his efforts there, and that be Will Higgins. So the Van Buren boys, how did that come to pass that both the boys shared the dual captaincy in 2025?
Oh, look, Quade Wynyard being the type of individual that he is, he recognised that his time as captain, he thought he'd run his race and he wanted to still be involved in the club and providing leadership while still allowing others to develop in that leadership space. And so it went out to the collective of the team and, of course, coaches' input as well. But basically it was... a unanimous decision that the 2 Van Buren brothers would lead our club as joint captains in 2025, and that's great to see young Will whacking that one through the middle. And leading us into 2025, into the future, again, two great individuals, two superhuman personalities. They're just been well brought up, and they continue to expose those type of attributes that we want involved with the Devonport Football Club. They're selfless, they're reliable, and they lead by example.
Second half of the season, as we see Devonport bring up 100 points with their second goal there to Will Higgins. He's one in the second and one in the fourth. What are we looking for the second half of the season out of the the collective with regards to each of the teams in the NWFL, so women's seniors, men's seniors, development, and also the under-19s?
Yeah, cool. So the Colts had another good win this morning, and the Colts remain undefeated in 2025. Provided that today's match runs out the way it should do, all three of our senior men's teams, the Colts development and seniors, will remain undefeated in 2025.
It's a goal to Cal Kubicki over the top of his right shoulder. So with his left boot, familiar way in which he presents in the forward line is Cal Kubicki. He's gone on the scoreboard, so that's his first in today against the Devonport Magpies. They go to 4-6-30 and they trail by 70 points. The Devonport Magpies 14-16, 100.
Yeah, but thanks again, Xavier. So the Colts will be looking to consolidate their position at the top of the ladder for the rest of the season. We're comfortable and confident that all three of those teams will make finals, and they certainly should do from this position.
Fantastic. And Justin Robin took over from Kurt Wynyard. So you mentioned that Kurt won 3 in a row. Justin's, so junior's won 1. Does you feel any external pressure, or is there any internal pressure in order to make sure that this extended period of time with regards to dominating the NWFL in senior ranks continues?
No, there's absolutely no pressure, and it's sad to see Billy Sharman coming off there injured, so I hope Billy's okay. But Junior was assistant coach to Kurt Wynyard in 2023, and so it was a natural progression in 2024 for Junior to take the reins. And the boys continue to buy in. They love Junior just like they loved KB. And KB is obviously still involved with them at development league level. But yeah, they bought into the game plan through the development team and the Colts team. They're all training under the same system in one consolidated playing group in many instances. It just means that we're preparing players for that opportunity when they do need to step up, that they know where to go and when to go, etc., as part of their game plan. So Junior's ability to communicate is absolutely one of his main attributes.
Yep.
Of course, being a teacher,
yeah.
it comes naturally to many of those teachers. But his ability to communicate and to get everybody singing from the same hymn sheet and heading in the same direction aligns with the one club mantra, and also obviously it aligns with what our boys are looking for, that leadership and that continual opportunity to improve and develop under the mentorship of someone who's so skilled and knowledgeable as Junior. Magic.
And how are you going with under the auspices of the leadership of Gary Carpenter in the NWFL? Larger than life characters, no doubt, is Gary. Unfortunately, NWFL didn't do too well in the Tri-Series in 2025, so I'm sure that he will be looking at that particular template for 2026 and beyond. But nonetheless, NWFL, they've been very supportive with regards to the change into the 3 Premier Leagues.
Yeah, look, you can't fault the NWFL as far as their commitment to their local regional league. Admittedly, wasn't much of a change this year, other than, of course, East Devonport rejoining at senior level. So our league didn't get tweaked quite as much as the other 2 leagues. But Gary, as you said, yeah, he's a passionate leader, and he's certainly fully vested in the NWFL, as he should be as president, and you need to be. You need to show that leadership and that commitment in that role.
A little bit of a to-do there between Egger, I think there might be Harry Elmer. Not too happy. Elmer receiving the free kick, goes inboard, finds Braden Butler. former Latrobe boys, played well today. With Gary, as the onward gets the footy back.
Yeah, Gary, as you said, he's very passionate about the representative football, and that's one of the catalysts is Gary's passion for the under-19 representative matches being played next Saturday before the Tasmanian game. So that's just an example of how the esteem that Gary holds representative football in and giving everyone the opportunity to do so. Yeah, the NWFL didn't win their matches in the round robin series against the other Premier Leagues this year, but they were highly competitive in both matches, and I think it's only a matter of time and probably a little bit more time together, and they'll certainly work on improving those performances in 2026.
Cal Kubicki has the football for the Wynyard Football Club on the 40-metre arc. He brings the footy inboard, gathers around about 10 metres, but more importantly decreases the angle, and the mark has been taken by Keaton Edwards, so he'll be kicking from around about 40 metres right on the 40-metre arc. No wind really to speak of, so this could be their second. They've been a bit more potent in this fourth quarter. Keaton Edwards, and he's got it, so well done to Keaton Edwards. So that's the second of the quarter for the Wynyard Magpies. That's his first. So they go to 5-6-36, trailing Devonport 14-16-100. How many boys are in the under-19 or Colts rep game on next weekend? Or, how many within the squad?
So we were, I believe, each club was able or entitled to nominate up to 10. So we nominated 10, and I believe that there's 8 still remaining in that particular squad. So hopeful that all eight will get a Guernsey for the Eastern team, of course, playing the western end of the coast. But that remains to be seen. But we're hopeful that all of them will get the opportunity, and best of luck to all of the boys to get the opportunity from whatever club it is.
And who's coaching the east and west side for that Colts game?
I believe. Look, I'm not 100% sure. I think that there was someone Enright, I believe, from Latrobe that is coaching. Forgive me for not remembering his Christian name. He's coaching the eastern end, and for the western end, I'm unsure. Sorry.
I'm going to have a guess. I know it's not Corey Enright. I'll go with Matthew. Maybe it might be Matthew Enright. But from the western end, I'm also not sure. I look forward to that. Do you know what time that kicks off next week at Dial Park?
It's at Latrobe.
At Latrobe, sorry.
Yeah, it's at Latrobe, and I think that one is around
Latrobe.
around about midday. Yeah.
Latrobe, my apologies. It is at Latrobe Recreation Ground. So all those that are on the northwest coast, get up and have a look at our up-and-coming players, representative players on the northwest coast prior to the state game against Queensland at Latrobe Recreation Ground. So look forward to that. Hopefully we get some terrific weather. I'm sure that the players from all the other clubs that are not involved will enjoy the week off, no doubt, considering the weather's been that little bit brisk in the last couple of weeks, Brendan.
Yes, winter has certainly hit home, and
that's Lenny Douglas's third. And yep. So Lenny Douglas on the left there. So that's his third. So he's kicked one in the first, one in the second, and one in the fourth. They extend the lead 15-16 to 106. The Devonport Magpies, and they are leading Wynyard 5-6-36. So 70 points to the margin there.
Yes, so at Latrobe, obviously next week you'll have a number of people there representing various elements of state and interstate football. So it really is an opportunity for those young under-19 players to have that exposure in front of people that will be watching it with some very keen eyes to identify anyone that they think has got that potential development opportunity.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to plug the club if you've got a social event coming up. So is there anything that's available for the public or supporters that might like to get around the Devonport Football Club, considering that next week, that's almost a great Mark de Van Buren in the back half there? Actually, Tyler
Kelly.
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, he likes to fly, Tyler, so it's good to see him almost clonk one there. Mitchell Dale's been our club ambassador for 2025, and he's done a fantastic job in coordinating the social element of our club. There's a bit of conjecture over that,
no doubt.
that decision. So in the immediate future, on the 12th of July, we've got our football club annual ball, which is always a great event attended by all elements of our club, our female, our male, our volunteers, our members and our board. So that's always a great night. And then a really important round for us is the round 16, the last round against Ulverston, where we're hosting them. That's our community contribution round, where we really try and raise money and give back to our community. Once again, we'll be supporting the Tim Blair Run for Kids Foundation, and our women's team will be supporting an organisation, I think it's Beyond Blue this year, to involving mental health awareness. So that's always great. And as part of that day, we are introducing, it'll be the first event involving our Past Players Association, which we're trying to, with some elements of our club, some committed members are trying to get up and going. Club 81, I imagine it'll be called, based on the fact that the Devonport Football Club was formed in 1881.
Right. Yep.
So they're jumping on the Club 81, I think, is going to be the tag for our Past Players Association. And we've already locked in Peter Dacos and Doug Hawkins as guest speakers that day for a club luncheon. So some really good opportunities for people mixed up with the Collingwood Football Club or the Western Bulldogs Footscray Football Club, of course, that Dougie Hawkins played for. And just those nostalgic two characters, I think, will provide some great entertainment and be part of a really great day down at the club on the 23rd of August, round 16.
Absolutely. Billy Marshall there for the Wynyard Football Club. His endeavour's been fantastic throughout the course of the day. Unfortunately, though, I reckon he's a little bit tired and fatigued. His decision-making wasn't all that great. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Resultant free kick goes to Harry Elmer, and he's kicked it across the face of goal from around about 35 metres out. So that's his third behind. 1 goal, 3 to Harry for today. Score 107 to Devonport Magpies, 36 to the Wynyard Cats. Before I let you go, that sounds like a fantastic day. How much are tickets? The luncheon?
Yeah, I think they're online for sale for around about the $50 mark. So a pretty good value for the luncheon and the entertainment, and there'll be lots of other prizes, giveaways, etc. So some opportunities to support the club and, of course, be part of a really great day down at the footy club.
Well, thank you for making the effort to come up and have a bit of a chat with us at three-quarter time and then throughout the last quarter. Sharon Egger goes in boards, finds Ren Smith, gets the handball there. I think that might have been, is that the captain? I'm not quite sure with the long sleeves, Fleming. Back towards the Kobe Lions, who goes in board. And the man that's wearing Mr. Tyson's number, that's Blair Ryan, kicks it straight back to Sharon Egger. Thank you very much, Brendan Clark. We really appreciate you coming up, and we look forward to seeing what the Devonport Magpies can do in the second half of the season. So far, they are definitely the leaders both on and off the field, so congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Dave. We really appreciate the opportunity and for your acknowledgement of the football club and your support of the NWFL. So good on you. Thanks,
no worries.
Mate.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks.
Well, turning our attention back to the game, as we can see the Wynyard Cats working well across half-back, and it's Mason Hodgetts going wide right in front of the boozer there, and that will be Keegan Weller. Weller from a standing start kicks the ball towards centre wing in front of the grandstand. Marley Bourne tries to bring the ball to ground. Ren Smith with the tackle on top of Keegan Lowe. Then go back to Quade Byard. Byard out to Jonty Clark. Clark to Dell. Dell looks to go backwards. Not effective. However, he ends up back with the football. That's a good effort. Over to Kynan Lee. We had a chat about him before. Charlie Castle's a bit of an enigma. He goes inboard. Kick's not great. Van Buren. Caleb goes further afield. Across half-back. Finds Bo Bramich. Bramich releases by hand, but the mark has been intercepted by Cameron Drodds across half-back for Wynyard. He goes wide. Centre wing position. Saunders Street side. Brandon Howard now with the football. Outside 50. Kicks inboard. That's a deep entry, but it's to no one in particular. Kynan Lee's going to take the football. And he plays on. Finds Keegan Lowe. Still haven't manned him up. Had a quieter second half, I would say that. Nonetheless, all the damage that he did in the first half. Unbelievable. Blair Ryan. Van Buren falls over. That's going to be holding the football umpire, surely. Ooh, interesting call. Well, you can hear it in the background. The locals don't like that. Ball up. Wynyard, Marshall, Leafheber. Knocked forward by the Magpies across half-back. Drods back to Marshall. Kabicki dives on the footy. Getting it out was Ryan. Ryan to Kelly. By hand, they chain it. Wynyard. Ball comes back inboard. Finds its mark to low. Good handball. Back across half-back. Might have been Lillico. Finds Dell. Oh, poor kick by Dell. Laid back on that one. Somehow he comes up with the football as Blair Ryan. Goes wide. Kick doesn't find its mark. Hits the ground, skids towards the boundary line. In front of Harry Elmer. 107 plays 36. 22 minutes gone in the last quarter. That's going to be a free kick, surely, to Billy Sharman from Quade Wynyard. Arm over the shoulder, trying to drag him down in the ruck contest. Had a runner, ignores him. Doesn't find Dudfield. Low. Ryan. Chain of hands. Van Buren. Looks for that deep entry. Poor kick. Standing in the way, Sharon Egger. Co-captain for Wynyard. Kabicki looking after the pill. 58 points was the margin in round number 5, the win to the Devonport Magpies. Hodgetts, Griffiths in his 200th. Good kick. Leafheber, been better. Stings out of the game though. Mason Hodgetts looks indoors, finding Ren Smith. I think he bit off a bit more than he can chew. Ryan, Van Buren, kicks inside. Stafford, ball comes out here to Keegan Weller. Centre, goes wide, finds Brandon Howard, half forward. In front of Fletcher Kelly, been a better effort by the Wynyard boys in the fourth quarter. Deep entry looking for Jackson. He's from behind, that's a strong mark in front by the Devonport Magpies. Tyler Kelly it is. Goes wide. Van Buren. Look across here and we can see Nick Hesitatis and Mark Lowe. Brains Trust. For the Devonport Magpies, pretty content with their work this afternoon. Along with Justin Robin and company down on the interchange. Fletcher Kelly goes to centre wing. Great kick. Finds Young. Young hands it off. Van Buren looking for Castles. Held without the football. No free kick, says the umpire. Oh, that's incorrect disposal. One would have thought. Leafheber. Mops up. Might have been Duffield. No, in fact, it was Stafford. Comes back, comes out to Kobe Lyons. Centre wing position. Front of the grandstand. That's 50 metres. Or it's a free kick down the field. Something happened. Not quite sure. Players look a bit perplexed. But Brandon Howard's going to get the free kick. We're right behind him. Holston product. Last couple of years with Clay Griffiths has come across to the Wynyard Cats Football Club. Key position player, former Holston captain. Don't want to put the commentator's curse. No win to speak of. No doubts. Straight over the umpire's head. Brandon Howard kicks his first for the day. And that's their third for the quarter. So it's been a better effort in the final quarter. Well, the Wynyard players, 6 goals, 6-42. 6-6-42 plays the Devonport Magpies 15-7, 107. $22 points to the Wynyard Cats in this final quarter. Stings right out of the game now. Looking forward to next week at the Latrobe Recreation Ground, where we'll see the best on display from Tasmania versus Queensland. See how our boys from each of our Premier Leagues stack up as Wynyard get the clearance inside Forward 50, Tyler Kelly. Takes the mark, dishes it out to Fletcher Kelly. Keegan low. Further afield, Van Buren by hand. By hand again, I think that's Douglas. Chain of handballs comes out to Quade Byard, looks inboard. 50-metre arc. No one's able to take. Good defence by the Wynyard Cats. Great resolve. Almost up to the 29-minute mark. And there's the final siren. 6 goals, 6-42. The Wynyard Cats. 15-17, 107. The Devonport Magpies. A convincing win. $65-point margin to the Devonport Magpies here today. So they increased the margin from last time in round number 5 where they won by 58 points. A better fourth quarter. So the first and fourth quarter, the Wynyard Cats were much more competitive, as we can see the coaches there congratulating each other down on the boundary line. Goal kickers for today for the Wynyard Football Club. Our goal kickers were as follows. All single goal kickers. In the first quarter, we had Edward Dudfield and Noah Fleming. In the third quarter, the only goal kicker for Wynyard, which was Keegan Weller. And in the fourth quarter, we had 3 goal kickers, Callum Kabicki, Brandon Howard and Keaton Edwards. For the Devonport Magpies, with 3 today, was Lenny Douglas. 1 in the first, 1 in the second and 1 in the fourth. Millie Young kicked 2, both of those in the third quarter, along with Caleb Van Buren, one of the co-captains in first and second quarter, and joining them also with 2 goals in the second and fourth quarter, respectively, was Will Higgins. Our single goal kickers, Harry Ulmer in the second, Mitchell Dell in the third, Kurt Mason in the second, Harry Barker, Quade Byard also in the second, and in the first quarter, 1 went to Charlie Castles. At the end of the day, the Devonport Magpies were too good in both the NWFL senior women's and also the senior men's. Again, a reminder that the Devonport women came from behind in the last quarter and beat Wynyard in a bit of an upset. So 3 goals, 7-25. The Devonport Magpies women defeated the Wynyard Cats 2-4-16. So that's 2 on the trot for the Devonport Magpies in their senior women's. And it looks like they might be a contender along with Wynyard and Penguin for the premiership in 2025. For the Devonport senior men's, we see a 65-point differential in to the favour of the Devonport Magpies, 15-17, 107 to Wynyard Cats, 6 goals, 6-42. A big thank you to Jai Johansson on the camera here today at the Wynyard Recreation Ground. I'd also like to say thank you to Kent Jackson from the Wynyard Football Club, the president of the Wynyard Football Club, for his services with regards to organisation of equipment and for the commentary and camera setup today. Also would like to say a big thank you to Brendan Clark from the Devonport Football Club, the president, coming up and having a bit of a chat to us today. As we can see, Clay Griffiths come off the ground for his 200th senior NWFL game, meets his young son, along with his wife, his parents, down there, and gets clapped by his teammates from the Wynyard Cats. Played at Devonport, Ulverston. He's now at the Wynyard Cats. Clay Griffiths, former Ulverston Red Hopper as well, when it comes to basketball. Stalwart in the NWFL circles. From the Wynyard Recreation Ground, from Jai and myself, thank you for joining us here today on the live stream. We look forward to the state game next week at Latrobe Recreation Ground. If you get the opportunity to get out there early, have a look at the East versus West in the NWFL Colts, the best of the young players on the northwest coast. And we look forward to catching up with you next weekend.
Dad, it's nearly time for holiday program.
All right, I suppose I can drive you. Yes.
And Harry Ulmer. So they've been involved with the Tassie Tassie Development Program.
Yes.
So we see Millie Young come through and goes across the face of goal. And that will be 2-2 for Miller.
Both Lenny and as you mentioned, Harry have stayed with the club. What opportunities they get in the future? Well, that remains to be seen. But they're two highly skilled footballers, and Harry. But basically, it was a unanimous decision that the two Van Buren brothers would lead our club as joint captains in 2025, and that's great to see young Will whacking that one through the middle. All three of our senior men's teams, the Colts Development and Seniors, will remain undefeated in 2025.
It's a goal to Cal Kubicki over the top of his...
In both matches, and I think it's only a matter of time and probably a little bit more time together, and they'll certainly work on improving those performances.
Kubicki has the football for the Wynyard Football Club on the 40-metre arc. He brings the footy inboard. Gathers around about 10 metres, but more really to speak of. So this could be their second. They've been a bit more potent in this fourth quarter. Keaton Edwards. And he's got it. So well done to Keaton Edwards. Recreation ground, so look forward to that. Hopefully we get some terrific weather. I'm sure that the players from all the other clubs that are not involved will enjoy the week off, no doubt, considering the weather's been that little bit brisk in the last couple of weeks, Brendan.
Yes, winter has certainly hit home. And
that's Lenny Douglas's third. And
guest speakers that day for a club luncheon. So some really good opportunities for people mixed up with 23rd of August, round 16.
Absolutely. Billy Marshall there for the Wynyard Football Club. His endeavour's been fantastic throughout the course of the day. Unfortunately, though, I reckon he's a little bit tired and fatigued. His decision-making wasn't all that great. Don't want to put the commentator's curse. No wind to speak of. No doubts. Straight over the umpire's head. Brandon Howard kicks his first for the day.
Dad, it's nearly time for holiday program.
All right, I suppose I can drive you.
Yes.